A young boy cuts class to read a mysterious book that he stole from a bookstore. The Neverending Story is one of the earliest movies that I can remember loving. I watched it over and over as a preteen, and then I didn't watch it again for probably 20 years. Introducing it to my daughter and reintroducing it to myself, I realized how great The Neverending Story is. The story follows Bastian, a young boy who recently lost his mother. He is relentlessly picked on by bullies, and he doesn't really fit in, but he does find solace in reading. So when he discovers a mysterious book, he skips class and gets sucked into the fantasy story. I always found the vibe of the movie to be a little strange. It's in English, but the book title is in German, and it's a German-made movie directed by a German director, and the dialogue was clearly dubbed in post-production because the voices don't exactly line up with the mouths, but you can tell that the actors were speaking English. It's weird, I don't know. It doesn't take away from the story at all, though. Most of the movie takes place within the book within the movie, in a land called Fantasia that is under attack from a force called the Nothing. We start off by meeting some strange and interesting characters, including a human-sized snail with an oxymoronic trick up his sleeve, and the man in the top hat who rides him, a really dirty human bat-looking hybrid that rides around on a giant bat like it's a hang glider, and of course the giant rock biter who reminds me of a golem from the Dragon Warrior video game series. Everyone in Fantasia is worried about the Nothing, and the only person who can save the world is Atreyu, a child warrior. He got his name from Atreus, the father of Agamemnon and Menelaus from Greek mythology. His name is also the basis for House Atreides in the Dune series. And the heavy metal band Atreyu, who was popular in the early 2000s, also got their name from Atreyu from The Neverending Story. Now, most people who saw this as a kid remember one scene more than the rest. It is a very traumatizing scene, although not quite as traumatizing as I remember from childhood. Now, I'm not going to spoil anything, but if you think that you might not be able to handle it, you can go to doesthedogdie.com and look up and read about the horrific thing that happens, and then decide if you want to watch the movie. The Neverending Story follows one of my favorite movie styles. A character is on a journey, and every few minutes meets a new, interesting character who helps them on their way. The Neverending Story, based on the book of the same name, is oozing with charm and innovative characters. All of the special effects were done practically and feel almost like something that Jim Henson would have come up with. I was blown away by how many memories this brought back and how much I enjoyed it as an adult. The characters are classic. Bastian, Atreyu and his horse Artax, the childlike Empress, the luck dragon Falkor, the old gnome. The list could go on and on. The special effects and world building are all top notch. It's just a movie that's hard to hate. As a kid, it was way over my head, but there is a scene towards the end of the movie that about made my head explode. It was the most meta thing I've ever seen. It was so ahead of its time. The Neverending Story, it's a movie for the whole family. It's full of wonderful adventure, and even though it's a kid's movie, it has some pretty grown-up lessons in it. I'm already ready to watch it again. Drinking raw eggs and orange juice, finger pretzels, foggy horseback rides, getting bullied, symmetrical statues, winking luck dragons.